You know, it feels like it's been a minute since I've done any sort of pistol content. So today, we're gonna do just that. Now, full disclosure, what I'm talking about today, a little bit of speculation, a little bit of truth, but mainly exploration. We're gonna explore some low power factor ammo, or as I call it, YouTuber ammo. Recoil Delito. What these are they're from, these particular ones are from Phantom Defense, and they are what they call their Softies. So it's 147 grain subsonic round. They're going like 850 feet per second. So in theory, it should produce less recoil. These are also painted blue and red, so that's kind of neat too. It's a little bit fancy looking ammo. But what we're trying to figure out is, are there YouTubers out there that are using this low recoil subsonic ammo in their pistols to make themselves look faster than they actually are? Now, the targets that I'm running in this video are the C-Zone targets from TA Targets. They just now sent these out. They're brand new, so they are double-sided targets. So you can see on one side, got just a big old aiming point, just a big old giant circle on there. You've got a bunch of little bitty triangles. You've got your circles down here for doing like a dot drill, say precision rifle stuff. And then on the other side, you have got your standard C-Zone marked target. So with your typical A-Zone in the middle, A-Zone in the head, and a C-Zone size target for the rest of it. Again, it's a C-Zone target, but I do appreciate all the extra stuff they've got printed on here so that you can flip it around, and if you want to run it for anything other than just shooting C-Zones, you got that stuff as well. Now, this stuff was designed mainly for competition shooters, like your USPSA, you know, your pistol competition shooters. A lot of those guys, to my knowledge, no expert here, but it's a good thing about YouTube. Everybody in the comments is an expert. Yeah, a lot of those guys are shooting ammo like this so that they can shoot it faster. And when you start getting into that stuff, there's these things called power factors, and you shoot different power factors, and that way you can, you know, shoot. These things are fogging up. It's like 80% humidity out here. Yeah, so you shoot different power factors, and that way you don't have somebody shooting this and they are competing head to head against somebody that's shooting like factory 124 grain, you know, stuff, because this is going to inherently produce less recoil. At least that's the idea. All right, we're going to run it out of a performance pistol. So this is my CZ Shadow 2 carry that I featured on the channel not too long ago. And up top, I've got a Zero Tech Halo. I've got some lock grip bogey textured on here. And then I've got the lock grips extended base plate. I'm going to be doing an update on this pistol here in the near future. I ain't going to run timed or anything. I'm just going to shoot this magazine. Just see if I can tell any difference right off the bat. And then we'll start doing some time drills comparing this ammo to some standard factory 124 grain full metal jacket. Yeah, I can definitely tell the difference. So this was shooting, I was just now shooting a infinity targets at like 25 yards. Let's see if I can get this to zoom in. It was relatively quick shooting. I mean, it wasn't anything extreme, but hopefully when I zoom in on that, you'll be able to see. I mean, they are all solid hits. That target was clean. And just even pumping them out quick, wasn't really any problem to keep them on target right there. That's the C-Zone infinity targets at 25. We're gonna run 2 build drills. First one will be with some 124 grain full metal jacket from Black Sheep Ammo. Then the second build drill will be the Softies from Phantom Defense, so 147 grain subsonic going 850 feet per second. The supersonics will do on the left target, and then the subsonics will do on the right target, and we will compare and contrast time. Now I'm drawing from a holster that I don't have too much experience drawing from. This is a Falco outside the waistband leather holster. So I'm not necessarily going to take into account the first round. We'll just kind of ignore that because that's got nothing to do with the ammo and everything to do with me. But we'll take into account how easy it is to keep on target, and we will take into account the time, obviously, after the first shot. All right. So we got supers first on the left target, then we'll do subs on the right target. Alright, I mean that's what I'm used to as far as ammo goes. So 6 rounds, supers, everything stayed in the A zone. The time was a 2.88. Alright, now we've got the softies. Let me scoot over just a hair so I can get out of the, I don't hit my camera. Alright, here we go with the softies. Alright, that was a little bit less accuracy, it appears. It appears the overall group is that's, you know, we'll chalk that up to me, absolutely. The time was a 2.68, so 0.2 difference. It wasn't too much difference. Alright, now we're going to shoot the exact same thing. Again, the supers will be here on the left target, subs will be on the right target. 6 rounds, bill drill on both. This time we're running a PDP Pro SD, and this has got a Parker mount machine comp on it and some brass back straps. So again, it's a little bit higher performance trigger, or higher performance pistol. I think it'll be a good test. I won't be drawing from a holster because I don't have a holster down here with me. So we'll just start at a low ready position and go from there. All right, those are all really low, but that was a 163. All right, now we're going all subs. Yeah, that was terrible. That was awful. That was a 140. Looks like we dropped one out. Everything else was A zone, and I can tell you what, there is a ginormous difference in the 2 ammos, especially out of this pistol with a comp. All right, what I'm gonna do is now I have got 6 rounds of the softies loaded up and then 6 rounds of the full metal jackets. And what I'm gonna do is run some slow motion, just some steady controlled fire, and let y'all watch the difference to see if y'all can pick up on the difference in the recoil. Now we're going to run the same test on the CZ Shadow 2 carry just to see if there's the same amount of difference, if it's more, if it's less, on a pistol that does not have a compensator on it. Again, it's going to be the same order. So we've got the softies, so you're going to have 6 rounds of the low power factor ammo and then 6 rounds of standard full metal jacket. Certainly a difference there. I just now went back and watched the footage. Certainly a difference between the two. I don't think it is quite as felt as it is with the PDP with the compensator on it, but there's certainly still a difference even with the non-comped pistol. So we've got the 2 targets still up. We're gonna go 4 on the left, 3 on the right, 2 on the left, 1 on the right. I can't see nothing. These glasses are fogging up so bad. All right. Yeah, man, this stuff is fast, really fast. Let me know your thoughts after seeing the slow-mo and kind of just seeing me shoot both types of ammo. Is this something that you've got any interest in? The two main uses for this is competitive shooting and shooting suppressed. They suppress really, really well because they're big, fat, heavy, slow bullets. They're going 850 feet per second, so well underneath the speed of sound, well within subsonic range. And I've tested them. They sound great suppressed. Out of a pistol, there is a difference. You can see that in the slow-mo video with both pistols, especially on the PDP with a compensator on it. It feels incredibly soft, and I know that you can't really feel it on camera, but just take my word from it and compare that with the footage. There's a huge difference in just the perceived recoil. Am I saying that you're going to be faster with one or the other? No, not necessarily. Are you going to be more accurate with one or the other? No, not necessarily, but there is a difference in the recoil, and it is much softer. I guess that's why they call this Softies. It almost feels like time slows down, if you will. It's just a perceived thing, just the way the gun operates. I'm assuming that slide is moving a little bit slower, and that's what makes it feel like it feels like I've got more time to pick up my dot and watch where it lands before breaking that next shot. If that makes any sense, I don't know, but that's the way I can put it into words. But again, I mean, do you have any interest in these Softies or low power factor ammo? I realized that the targets that you were watching, you were looking at the back of them. This is what I was seeing, was this. So let's see, we'll turn it sideways so you can see it. All right, there it is. So you can see that last round. What made me realize this was this last little thing I done. It looks like this shot is outside of the head because you're looking at the back of it. But on the front side, it is well within the A zone. And this target, this guy, he was getting eat up pretty good. I only dropped one outside of the A zone. This one right here wasn't doing too hot. Several of them are, well, let's flip it around here. Several of them are outside the A. But realize that you were looking at the target backwards, so wanted to show you that. Maybe, you know, I don't know if it means anything to you. Who knows? But let me know in the comments, do you think YouTubers are using this slow ammo to make themselves look faster than they actually are? I don't know. Could be speculation. I know a lot of them do use this ammo, but a lot of them will generally mention that they're shooting this ammo. Anyways, that's all I have for you. I appreciate you watching, and I will catch you on the next one.